Why do you keep breaking promises to yourself? You tell yourself you'll wake up early tomorrow. You'll start that workout. You'll stop procrastinating. You'll finally stay consistent. But somehow, a few days later, the promise fades. It's not because you're lazy, and it's not because you lack discipline. Psychology suggests something deeper is happening. Here are 5 psychological reasons why people keep breaking promises to themselves. 1. Your brain prefers immediate comfort over long-term rewards. Your brain is wired for survival, not long-term goals. When you promise yourself something difficult, like waking up early or working harder, you're asking your brain to choose discomfort now for a reward later. But the brain loves immediate relief. Scrolling your phone feels good right now. Sleeping longer feels good right now. This is called temporal discounting, the tendency to value immediate rewards more than future benefits. So every time the moment of action arrives, your brain quietly negotiates its way out. 2. Your identity hasn't caught up with your goals. People often make promises based on who they want to become, not who they currently believe they are. For example, someone might promise to work out every morning, but if deep down they still see themselves as someone who isn't disciplined, their behavior eventually returns to that identity. Psychologists call this identity-behavior alignment. Your actions tend to match the story you believe about yourself. Until that story changes, promises alone rarely stick. 3. Motivation is emotional, not logical. When you make promises to yourself, you're often in a motivated emotional state. Maybe you watched an inspiring video, had a productive day, or felt frustrated enough to want change. But motivation is temporary. The version of you making the promise is not always the same version of you waking up tired the next morning. Psychologists call this the motivation gap, the emotional distance between intention and action. Promises made in strong emotion often collapse in ordinary moments. 4. Your brain remembers past failures. Every time you break a promise to yourself, your brain stores it as evidence. Eventually, a quiet thought appears. You probably won't stick to this anyway. This is known as learned self-doubt. Over time, repeated broken promises weaken self-trust. And once self-trust erodes, even small goals begin to feel harder to keep. Not because they are harder, but because belief has weakened. 5. You're trying to change behavior instead of systems. Most people rely on willpower, but psychology consistently shows that systems beat motivation. People who succeed don't depend on promises. They design environments that make the right choice easier. They remove distractions, they create routines, they make good habits automatic. Because the real secret isn't stronger promises, it's fewer decisions. If you keep breaking promises to yourself, it doesn't mean you're weak. It means your brain is behaving exactly the way it was designed to. But once you understand the psychology behind it, something powerful happens. You stop blaming yourself and start designing a life that works with your mind, not against it. So ask yourself honestly, which one of these patterns do you recognize in your own life? Let me know in the comments.